Hello, this is a tutorial on VIENNA Advantage Document Management System. The focus of this tutorial is to take you from the start after the installation of Document Management System and explain you how to get started with the system and make you familiar with the features of the Document Management System. So we're going to start where you have already downloaded the files of VIENNA Advantage Document Management System from SourceForge, and you have installed it, and you have already downloaded the necessary modules which are important and necessary to run the document management system. Before we get into further details, I would also log into the system and verify with you what modules you should have installed. And after that, we will go into the system and create a new tenant. And then we will have a look at the DMS and run the features through. Okay, so first of all, I have the system installed here on my machine, and I'm going to log in as super user with the initial password system, and I'm going to select the role system administrator, the client or the tenant system, and the organization star. There we go. As you know, you might know that only system administrators have the right to install modules, and our first task here is to verify whether the modules are installed or not that we require for running the DMS. By the way, to verify the market or to check the market, this is the icon here that you can click, and here we can see the market and the modules that are available. Now, VIENNA Advantage DMS as a standalone is based on the VIENNA Advantage framework. That means based on the framework, certain modules can be installed to run the DMS. And the modules that you need for that should be installed. So one of these modules is the first one that you see here is supporting JS files. So these are some JavaScript files that are necessary to run the DMS. You need the framework-based functionality. This comes along with some tables which are inserted into the DMS and to forward documents. Then we need the DMS editor files that also has been installed on my system already. Finally, also we need the document management system itself, which is the most important module, but anyways, you need all the modules to run it. And finally, in case you are having the VIENNA access to the VIENNA Advantage Professional Edition, then you need to install that. That specifically is important to automate certain tasks in the document management system. Well, that's all. You should have installed these modules, and once you have done that, you would have the complete package of the VIENNA Advantage document management system. After doing so, you need to, let's say, log in into the system, and the first thing that we are going to do here is we are going to create a new tenant. So for that, you can log in into the system using the super user again and the initial password system, and again you can log in into system administration, and here we go. So you get into the home page. The home page is pretty empty as of now because you're just starting the system and there is no record, so it's a fresh installation. um, uh, VN Advantage is a multi-tenant system. In a single database setup, you can install a number of tenants and a number of organizations. So we are going to set up a fresh one, a new one, and we'll take you through that. Okay, first of all, you need to select the name for that tenant that you're going to create here. So let's say we could create here a tenant called insurance company, and the organization could be ABC Insurance Limited. Okay, then we need a user contact for the tenant. This user contact for the tenant is going to be the administrator of that tenant or client, and we'll have all the access on all the transactions in that newly created tenant. So you need an admin here. So let me call it insurance admin. And then we'll need a user as well, insurance user. When the system generates the tenant, then the same username will be also available or will be used as a password. Okay, then we can select a city name. So let me do that here with New York and state NY. These fields are optional, or these checkboxes are optional. If you're using the standalone DMS, you might not need it. But if you use the DMS with the accounting or the ERP, then you might need these fields or you might want these fields. These are related to accounting. Once you have filled the information, you just click on done and it will create the new tenant, and it is already done here. And you can see that the tenant with the name of insurance company, an organization with this name, and an admin role has been created, and a role for the user as well has been created. The username as well as the password for the administrator is insurance admin. Okay, and for the user there is another user created, insurance user, and insurance user is the password for that. So that's pretty much it for in terms of creation of the tenant. Now we will log into that newly created tenant using the username insurance admin. So let me just copy this from here and I will just log out and I'll paste it here and I'll log in into this one. Now when I press login, you see that I have this availability of two roles. Since being admin, I can select which role I would like to log in with. I also have the access to the user role here, being an admin. The client insurance company has been created and the organization ABC Insurance Limited as well has been created. And then I log in. Okay, so I am now in the system as the administrator, and you can see here I have um, the username, and you have an option here that you can always switch to another role if you would like to do so. So, but we will remain here as the administrator in the system. Let me say a few words about the home screen that you have. You can see it's pretty empty right now, but there are lots of features which are crucial or pretty handy for the users on the home screen itself. It includes one box here that basically contains pretty much a lot that you might need in your daily work. For example, your workflow activities, notices, and then you have your requests, appointments, calendars, tasks, and so many other things that you might need. Even in the DMS, you can make use of workflows and notices. So I think we'll see the features when you start using it. Then we have the menu over here. In the menu, the main module that you have is the DMS, the Document Management System, and there are a number of windows related to that. And the other menu items are items that are also available in the framework and are related to the system administration. So we don't need so much from here. The main point for us to start with will be from the links, where we have the link to the DMS, and you can access the DMS from here. And you have also the possibility to store certain windows into the favorites. So yeah, you can choose these from the menu and place it over there. Now we'll get into the DMS, and before we do so, it is important to tell you about one thing. In case you are running the professional edition, it is good to start the so-called V server. This V server is basically nothing else than it's a kind of server-side process that runs, and there are various components on that. One of these components is a scheduler. This scheduler basically runs all the processes that might have been scheduled on the system. And when you install the document management system, there are certain processes which are automatically scheduled in your system with the download of the DMS. And in these processes, there is one of the process which is there is the auto upload process, where the DMS can pick files from certain locations that you can set up and upload these documents into the DMS. And one of the other processes is also the indexing of the documents. Indexing of the document means that the documents are read by the system and they are indexed into the DMS, so that the search in these documents, even in the content of the document, is easy for you. And also certain workflow activities are automated using the vServer and certain schedules. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit on the run button, and now the server seems to be running. Okay. Okay, now we're ready to get into the DMS. For that, we click on the DMS button here, and the DMS opens like this. First of all, I would like to introduce you to the basic user interface of the document management system. We have various different areas here. We have on the left side the we have on the left side, first of all, the folder panel. In this folder panel, which you can open and close, we have 4 default folders that are by default created when you install the system for any user. It includes the inbox for incoming documents, the outbox for outgoing documents that you send out. We have all documents for searching in the document, so all the documents available to you will be available in all documents. And we have subscribed documents for all the documents that you might have subscribed to. Then you have the upper toolbar. This upper toolbar has certain actions that you might need. Then on the right side, we have a right toolbar where certain document actions are available. So once there are certain documents available in the system, we'll go through these options basically. Now, first of all, we'll start using the left side, and we'll create a new folder to show how to create folders in the system. For that, you press on the plus icon here, and then you can enter folder name. So I'm entering a name here. Press on OK. The folder is created here. You can select that folder, and if you wish to create a subfolder under that folder, you can do so by pressing on the left icon, and then create subfolder, um, so that you can open and see that the subfolder has been created. And you can create any levels, any number of hierarchy levels under a certain folder. So you could do so. And another thing which is important is the copy permission of parent folder, where this option copies the authorization level of a certain parent folder to a subfolder. Now here you can see basically that or the owner, the one who creates the documents, has the owner of that folder, who creates a folder. And so if you decide to create a subfolder, and with the option of copy permission of parent folder, it will automatically take the permissions that are given to the parent folder to also to the subfolder. So then you have renaming folder. You could rename, delete a folder, you could delete a subfolder, you could move a folder into another folder, you could share a folder. So that is the permission that you could do over here. And then you could subscribe to a folder to get alerts on the documents, and then you can upload or create new documents in that folder. And then also you have the option of folder information to know more about a certain folder. That is. So various options which are related to the folders available here. Now we'll go and add documents into that folder claims. For that, you can press on create document, and the system has an inbuilt editor. It's a kind of word editor or text editor which will open, and you can actually use that to create documents or document templates directly in the system. And here, for example, we could create a document in the folder, and we could use that document then to try other options in the system. So I'm creating here a document on the guidelines for claims. So I could write anything over here, and then I can save this document. I can give it a name. I have various file type options, including doc files, ODT files, PDF, RTF, and text files. I could enter a name of the document. So guidelines, and I could select in which folder I would like to save this document to. So you could search for folders by entering a name, or just press on the search button to select all the folders or to see all the folders. You have also the option to enter a category. We don't have any categories right now, but we'll come to that a little later, where you can also make use of the categories in the system, especially important for workflow, etc. So right now I'm not selecting anything since I don't have anything here. So I just press on OK to save this document. Now I got the message that the document has been saved. I can close this. Now when I refresh the folder here, so I just can click on the folder again to refresh it, and then I can see that the document has been created with the name guidelines, and I see this in the middle section where I see the status of the document is a green checkbox, which means that this document has been checked out by myself, and that when I select this document on the right side, the panel opens, and that shows a number of details related to that document which I have selected. So you can open and close it. So if I open it again, then I can see a number of details related to that, which includes document name, document keyword, and many other things. So I'm adding a keyword or multiple keywords here. I could enter a description here as well. So this document describes the guidelines for all types of claims. Okay, I have some other options which I'm going to show you a little later, which I can use to add to the metadata. Then I simply save it, and the details to this document have been saved. Now I can decide to check in this document. By checking in this document is no more editable in this version, at least. If I want to edit that document, you have to again check out this document and then create a new version. Right now I'm checking it in with the version 1.0. Now you see that it has been locked. That means this version has been frozen and I cannot change anything in this version. Yeah, it's all read only over here. And yeah, there are a number of things that you can see, for example, document size, etc. Also over there. Then also I have the option to upload documents by selecting files from my hard disk. So let me just search for some documents over here. So for example, I can go into a folder and search for or select some random documents here. Okay, let's select these three. So the system is processing the upload. The documents are basically uploading to the server, and while they're uploading, there are certain other options. So for example, you can select which folder to save this document into. So you could select here one of the folders. So I can select the claims folder, and there are also other options. The category, we'll come to that a little later, and another thing that you see here is the keep versioning. So basically, if you upload a document with a name that is already existing, you can tell the system what to do in that case. One of the options is that if the document is already existing, that the system should not upload that document again. Further options are that the system should create a new document, And another third option is that the system should create a new version of that existing document. So we just don't have any existing, so we can select any of these options. And now if I go to that folder, I can see that documents have been uploaded in that particular folder. And I can start performing certain actions on these folders, or sorry, documents that I have just uploaded. Now, some of the options that you see here are on the right side. So we can go to these options. One of the options that you have here is download that document. So you can actually, if you click on that, the system will actually download the document, make sure that the pop-ups are enabled on your system. So if you click on download that document, then the system will pass this document to the browser, or it will download that document to your local drive and you can decide to open it. So not necessarily you need to check out to see a document, but you can simply also download a document. You have a checked out document, you can decide to edit that document. So we have the option to edit this. Here, if a document is not checked out, you can check out that document. If the document has been checked out by mistake, or you actually do not really intend to create a new version, you can undo the checkout process. So it will go back and discard all the changes in the new version. You can decide to delete the document. The deletion of the document can happen on the latest version, or it can also delete the complete document. But that requires certain access to the document, certain access level. You can decide to give access to other people on the documents. We'll go to that in a while. Then you have the possibility to move the document into another folder. You can forward the document through email to an email recipient. You can, sorry, this is the forwarding, this is moving to another folder, this is forwarding, and this is emailing. Then you can collaborate on documents by leaving some chat. So for example, um, reviewed by me. Okay, so here we go. So I have left a chat, so any user comes in can see my chat over here. Then I have further options for attaching this document to a certain record in your system. I can subscribe to that document, where whenever there is a change to this document, I'll get alerted on that. And then I can copy this document. This copy document is very nice in case you're working with templates and you would like to use the template to create a new document. So you could, for example, click on copy document and you could say guideline for health insurance. So in this case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this document into the health insurance claims, and I could further edit this document over there. I could keep it checked out. So before actually creating the first version, I would like to edit it and then save it as a document. So I am doing it here. And what the system has done is it has created a new document, guideline for health insurance, with this name, and it is in the checked out mode. And if I want, I can edit this document and it will open this document in the editor, and I could actually modify it for claims on health insurance. So this way basically you can actually use templates, create templates, and use the templates to generate new documents. Once you're done with all the changes, you could again check in this document. Here this is the version 1.0 because it is a separate document. So this way basically you can work with these documents. So let me further explain you the other options. Uploading a new version in case you are checked out a document and you are not editing the document here, but you are uploading a new version, then you could also download the document from here or check the workflow on a certain document. And then we have the name of the folder where the document is stored in. And also you can see the related documents. For example, if some documents are grouped together and related to each other, then you could also see the related documents and you can perform certain actions on those. So this is basically the toolbar, the right side toolbar, and I will come to the next steps. Now, first of all, I would like to show you the search. The search basically happens from here, from the top toolbar here, where you can select. First of all, you need to select on which folder you would like to search. So I have selected here, for example, the folder claims, and if I search here, then it will only search in the folder claims. If I want to also include the subfolders in my search, then I can check on this box, show recursive documents. Then you'll see that the documents, even in the subfolders, are visible here. So for instance, this document. And if I would like to search here, then I could do so. So I searched for guideline and it brought me this document. Okay. Now let me explain you why it brought me only this document and not both the documents, like guideline here and guidelines here. This document was uploaded by me a few minutes back, and this is a document which has been uploaded just now, let's say 2 minutes back from me. As I told you in the beginning, there's a server-side process that runs to index documents. Only indexed documents are available in the search. So that means if the process has not yet run on the newly uploaded documents, the search is not being performed on the newly uploaded documents. So after a few minutes, this process might run again, and then I can perform the search again, and also this document will be available. What is important to mention is the system, once indexed, it just does not perform a search in the name or in the metadata, but also in the content on certain types of documents. These types are, for example, PDF files, image files, and Word documents, and many other formats. Now, you might be wondering why image files. Image files are also indexed by after doing an OCR on that. So there is optical character recognition done on the images, and the text is read out, and the indexing on that text is done. So you can actually perform a search inside the text in an image. So that is very, very useful. Further, for the searching, you can also search for the document number. These are the document numbers that you see here. So if you know a document number, you could directly search on the document number. Another option for searching in documents is the advanced search. In the advanced search, you have a lot of possibilities. You have the possibilities that you had here on the normal screen to search as a full text search. And you could decide here whether you want to search for any of these words or all of these words or only in the title of the document. You could also search for other parameters like file type, date created from, to, created by, last updated by, document category, input type, for example, whether this upload document has been automatically uploaded or it has been uploaded from the scanning application, and many other input types as well. Then documents received from other people or documents sent to other people, and you could also search for attribute sets and attribute set instances. So a lot of search possibilities that you have, and you might want to use in the document management system. The next thing I'm going to show you is to how to give access to other people on documents that you create. Now, for example, I have created this document and I would like this document to be accessed by other people. So I could search for the users in the system. I have here, for example, the other user that I have is the insurance user that we created. So I could select this insurance user and I could grant him access. The other option is that you could select other roles. So in case you don't want to select a user, but you want to select a complete role, then you can also do that. Works in the same way. You select that user or role, you click on save, and you decide what level of access you would like to give to that particular user or role. So here, for example, I would like to give him a right of read and write access. So it's done. Now if I check here, it will be available for 3 different users. If I check on another document, it is just for me and the administrator. Now, there is another possibility to give access to documents is if you give an access to the folder. For that, you click on Share Folder, and here, for example, you could again select the user that you would like to give access to. So I'm selecting the same user over here, and I need to save that, and I can select what rights I would like to give. Okay, important thing here, if you give rights on um, folders, there's another option whether you would like to copy these rights on subfolders and existing files in the system already. So I would like to do that. If I add a new user, I want him to access all the existing files as well, not only the newly uploaded files but also the existing files, so I can do that. And now this user should have access to all the documents over here as well as the documents in the health insurance folder. So we can check that by selecting one document, and we can see the accessibility, so you can see that user has received the access to that document. So this way basically you can create your folder structure and allow different users to get different access to these folders and to these documents. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to do is we are going to create some document categories. How to do that? For that, you need to go into the menu. You open the window called Document Category. It's available here. Okay, so here basically I'm going into that window. This window has only one tab, and I could define different document categories. These document categories you could define at star level in case you would like to create further organizations, companies, and you would like to share these document categories across these organizations. Also, you could decide to do it on that organization level. So, for example, I could create a document category invoice because I might upload invoices related to claims. And another one, let's say forms. So that could be, let's say, application forms. Okay, so I could do that here as well. So I have now created 2 document categories. Um, Basically, the use of the document category is mainly to set certain attributes to the documents and automate certain processes related to these categories. Okay, and also for searching certain documents. So these are the document categories. So if I would like to um, place certain categories to certain documents, again, what you can do is you can check out a document. You cannot edit it without checking out the document. If you would like to access, allow the editing that document, you need to check out, and then you can select, okay, I would like to select this newly created category. Well, this is not a really an application form, but for this demos, I'll just select this one and I'll save this. And now you see I checked out this document. What happened? The first version has been frozen and another version has been created over here, which is an editable version. I could also go into that document, I could edit that document and change further. And once I'm done with everything, I'm doing it in the new version here in the version 2, and I could actually, when I check it in, it will say basically the new version. The old version will be still remain the way it was, and I have actually here now 2 versions of that document. I could also view the old version, which has no document category, and the new version, it has a document category. So in this way basically you can track all types of changes in the document. Okay, the next thing which I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to extend further the documents with certain metadata. You saw that in these documents there is this type. These are the fields that you have for the metadata. You have the document name, you have the document keyword, description, you have a document category now. you might want more fields, and these more fields are available if you create certain attribute sets, and then you can map attribute set instances to these. I'll show you how it works. First of all, before creating or for creation of attribute sets, you need to create attributes. And these are basically general attributes. So first of all, you go into general attribute window. You can search for it here in the menu. So you go into the general attribute window and you can decide to create a general attribute. So I'm creating an attribute, let's say, um, for some values or some fields which I would like to have into the document. So let me say it's status is one of the fields that I would like to track. What is the status of that document? And this will be selected by the user. So I'm creating here something called a list, and then when I go into the second tab, I can select what are the values which should be available in that list. So this is a document status, so I can say it's new. This is one status that I would like to have. Like to have in progress is another status I would like to have, and a third status is it's approved, and then another status that I have is closed. Okay, so what I have done is I have created an attribute called status, and I have actually created the values which are possible to be selected in that attribute, so the status. And now we can create another general attribute. So let me create another attribute of with the name of claim type, and here as well I'm going to select list. By the way, if you do not want to select a list, you could also select a number. For example, if you would like to enter some number in that field in the document, for example, you might have a diameter or size or whatever. So you could also enter a number. You could also enter select a string field. Let me just do that as well. First of all, I can select a claim type, and I would here also enter two different types of values. Let's say claim type indirect, and I could enter another one called direct. Okay, then I go back here and I could create another general attribute saying um, okay, number. Okay, so I could select a number over here and I could save a number then over there. So when I created different attributes, I could group these attributes into an attribute set. For that, you go into the window called general attribute set. Here I could create a set, so let's say claims, and in that I could say it's a non-mandatory set, and I could select those attributes that I have created before. So I could create, for example, first could be the claim type, then I could create um, the number, and I could have finally the status. So we have now grouped this claim into these three different, or we have grouped these three into the group called claims. Okay, so now we have created the attribute set. Now we can use the attribute set in the documents. So let's see how it works. So for example, here we have a few documents, and I'm selecting this document, for instance, and I would like to extend the meta fields, meta level fields for this document. What I do for that is, first of all, I need to check out this document, and then I can select to attach this set of attributes to this checked out document. For that, I open this instance and I can select the values, And for example, this could be a document which is a direct claim. It has a number 123 and the status is new. So I could actually extend these fields according to my needs and fill these fields, and you can create any number of fields over here. You can create any number of attribute sets, and you can link it with the with documents, and these fields are also filled here and are available also in the search. So if you want to search for documents with a certain document number or documents with a certain claim type, etc., you can do that. So if I do so, it's important to save here as well before you check in, and then you can check in the document. So let me create here 1.1 and then press on OK. Now this document with the new version has been created with the attribute set instance, this one. And as I said, you could also search this in the advanced search. So you could actually go and say I want to search in the attribute of all the documents with the attribute set claims. If I do so, it will bring me this document which actually is linked with that attribute set. And further, even in the search, you could also search for a certain attribute set and also the instances. So instance, for example, I would like to search for something, and I could create or select any type of combination here to search. Okay, so that is basically how to extend the metadata and how to use or to create document categories in the system. I would like to now move forward and show you some of the document actions which are available here on the right side. First of all, we have already seen the document checkout, deletion, um, and let's move this document. So we can select a document and then click on this icon for moving the document. I could select here again the same way we could select a folder. So right now it's in claims. I could move it into health insurance claims, and this process has been started, and actually this document has been moved into that folder. So this is the way how you move documents into different folders. You could forward this document to another user, and that is also a nice feature. If you have multiple users using the same system, then you could actually send documents to each other internally using the send option, forward option. Here we have basically two different options. One is the moving document with a certain document number and without number. Basically, this comes in picture if you are working in an organization where every type of correspondence is tracked and stored, and also it is numbered. So in this type of organization, it is important that every correspondence is somewhere written in a diary, or it is being, let's say, logged. So for that purpose, you can also we have these features in the system that for every movement there is a document number stored. If you just want to unofficially send that document, you can do that. Now you see the difference. If I select this one, you will only get the option to select a team. A team could be a department, it could be a project team, any organizational unit, and then you cannot send to a certain user, because normally documents are sent to departments with certain official in a certain official way. Documents without any numbering could be sent to a team, could be sent to a user, or could be sent to a role as well. So I could actually search for a user here, and I could send the documents to other users or even other roles. So for example, I would like to send it to this role, and I could enter a purpose for this, and I could send this document to that role. This document has been successfully forwarded, and it is visible that you have forwarded this document to 3 people, because there were 3 people who are having access to that role. Okay, so this is the way to forward documents. Then we can also see how to email documents. So you can click on that email icon, and you could this document is attached automatically here. You could also decide to add further attachments or further documents to this, and you could write a subject and an email, and you can enter an email ID and send the documents directly from the document management system. Okay, so then we have already seen the chat. Now, what another thing that I would like to show is to you is the attachment feature. This attachment features helps you basically to attach documents which are in your document management system, to attach these documents to um, the records in your system. So for example, I have the attachment here. I press on this attachment button, then I could go, for example, into any window. So for example, I'm going into the window called Business Partner. The Business Partner window is by default installed with a certain module that you install, which is I think the base files. So I could, for example, create a new business partner. Let's say I'm creating a customer name, or a vendor, let's say a supplier. So supplier limited, and I could mark this as a supplier over here, and I can save this one. And after saving, I get some options here, and I could actually also attach the document that I have just um, taken or seen over there to this record that I have created. And if I look at this one and I want to view that document, you can see that this was a document which has been attached to this. So actually, this is one window. Actually, this feature is available to all the windows, even if you decide to create your own windows, which you can actually do in the DMS. You can create any type of functionality and attach the documents to any type of window that you have. Um, Further, I would like to show you another option is here that you could select also directly. If you select that supplier that you have just created, you could also decide to create the document directly from here or upload the document directly here. So for example, if I decide to upload a document here, I could do it in the same way like I have done it earlier. So let me select one here, let's say Vienna CRM, and I could select a category here as well, and I could select here where I would like to save it in which folder. So let me select one folder, let me select the claims, and I could actually upload the document directly from here, and this document is attached not only to this business partner, but this document is now also available in the claims, and you can see it over here. The good thing that you see here is further that this document is now, you can see that it is related to a certain record in the system, and you can also directly from here zoom to that particular record. So if I have a document and I would like to see this, to which record this document is related, I can directly zoom from that um, record to that, sorry, from that document to that record. And another thing is that you'll also be able to see that to the same record there are two different documents attached. So one is the Vienna CRM and the Cloud Strategy one. Now, through the attachment to the same record, these two records become actually related to each other. So, and it's a kind of file that I have where you have a bunch of documents, and it's like a physical file normally in your work. And if you would like to, for example, forward the complete file to other people, you could do that as well. You could click on forward icon here, and you could actually select one of these documents as a covering letter. For example, let's say this is going to be my covering letter, and I would like to forward this document to a certain team. And then I can select that team and I can send this document to that particular team. By the way, for if you are wondering why the team is empty, you could actually create any number of teams over here. So let me do that as well for the sake of completion. So let's say department, finance department. Okay, so I could select someone as a supervisor. So I could select, let's say, one of the users. So I'm selecting myself as a supervisor of that department. And okay, I could select another team here, or I could add further team members as well, and I could select another team here, let's say administration, and I could select another user here as a supervisor of that department. Okay, so um, done so. And then when you want to forward it, now you'll see that after selecting the covering letter, there are certain themes that are available. If I would like to send it to certain teams, I can select to which team I'm going to send it. Now, if I select my own team, it will probably go to myself. And okay, or send to team members or team supervisor. Please check. So, okay, I've selected the team here. Okay, from team is not available. Okay, no problem. Okay, so this is the way how you can actually forward documents to different users and even the related documents to different users and teams, etc. The next thing that I'm going to show you is how to upload a large number of documents into the DMS. For that, in the menu, you have the option of auto upload settings, where you can enter the details, the settings that you would like to maintain for automatically uploading the documents into the DMS. You have the choice to upload documents from a path, a folder path on the server, where you could enter, for example, C and a certain folder name, etc. And the system will automatically pick that folder and the subfolders under that folder and create that folder structure into the system. The other way is to pick enter certain email settings of an email account, and the system will automatically load the attachments and as well as the emails from that email ID, and it will upload these documents into the DMS. Important to enter is what folder these emails or these documents should be uploaded to. And here basically you cannot enter a name of a folder, but you need to enter the ID of that folder. The reason for that basically is because you might have multiple folders with the same name in the DMS, but every folder has a unique ID. How to look at the ID, how to find the ID is very simple. You just click on that icon and then you click on folder information, and here you have the folder ID that you are looking for. So you could simply copy that ID. So for example, if I would like to upload into the claims, and then I could do that and copy the email attachment folder ID over here. Oh, it didn't copy. Okay, so you could enter it here, and then also here you can choose whether the documents uploaded from that email ID will have a certain document category, and you could set also these options whether you would like to create a new version if that document is already existing or not. You could enter the email details, and then you could also here other settings that is also very nice, decide whether you would like to upload only certain file types. For example, I just want to upload JPG, PDF, docx, etc. So in case you want to avoid that unwanted file types get into your DMS, you could actually restrict it here. If you do not do so, then it will upload all the file types. The limit for uploading files is 25 megabyte. That means files above that size will not be uploaded into the system. Okay, so this is basically how you can mass upload the documents. What is also nice to do, for example, if you are using a Google Drive, and you might create the Google or install Google Drive also on your server to sync the documents on that server, and you could link your Google Drive folder with this folder path. Then automatically all the documents saved to your Google Drive would be backed up into your DMS. And unlike Google Drive, where in Google Drive if you create a new version of that document, it does not create a new document, but it overwrites the existing document. In this case, if this process is running, it will create always a new version of that document. So this is very nice because you are using Google Drive and using the DMS as a backup system, plus maintaining all the versions, so you could actually track all the changes in the documents happening. So this is basically a way to upload the documents in masses. Right. Yes. There are certain options available related to the workflow. I just want to give a hint on that. This session is not meant to go into detail of that. Actually, it is possible to create certain workflows based on the documents coming into the system. For example, you could have documents coming in to your system, and you would like to use these documents and generate certain workflows. So, for example, you have here a document workflow type called document rule workflow, and here you could actually set certain logic and to trigger the workflow. And there are various nodes available. There are various actions available in these documents, in these workflows, and you could actually then really do a lot with the documents. For example, you could um, perform actions like forward documents automatically. You could put these documents into different folders. You could send documents for approvals. You could send documents to other users for filling information like attribute set instances, selecting categories. You could auto select categories. You could auto select these things. So there are various actions available. Let me just show you. Maybe I can just show it to you. So, for example, you could ask a user to choose a document category. You could also forward a document, move document, allow access to documents. You can send emails and many, many other things that you can do using the automation. And you could set the workflow based on the document category, the location of the upload, the folder it is uploaded to, the user who has uploaded the document, and on many many other triggers or conditions you could set the workflow. So there are many options that you could use actually here as well to make use of it. Further, I would like to state before closing that we also have a scanning application. You could directly use the scanning application to upload documents from the scanner into the DMS. This works by using web services, and it is linked to the DMS. We are also having a mobile application. This mobile application will be soon on the Android Google Play, where you can directly also upload documents from using that VIENNA Advantage application from your mobile device, and documents of any type. So um, a lot more coming up on that as well. And if you have any questions or if you need any help on setting up the DMS for yourself, you could contact us, our partners. We'll be happy to help you on that one. And I hope you enjoyed the session and you'll have fun with the document management system.